Okay, guys, welcome back. So we're going to spend the next 10-15 minutes talking about our brand new CIR Realty Property Management Division.
Yes.
So, Kristin, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions.
Sure.
I asked Kristin to prepare just a few kind of FAQs because there's been a lot of realtors that have been reaching out to you, which is fabulous.
Fantastic.
So hopefully we can answer a couple questions. Next week at our big rain event, we're going to talk a lot more about property management in general, but just for you guys, we want to make sure that you have a little bit of knowledge up and coming. So let's kick it off. So we've been talking about property management for a long time as a brokerage, and we just finally did it. But kind of your experience in the industry and knowing, I guess, where all of the holes are. What's this partnership, and why do you think it makes sense?
I mean, you guys have been thinking about it for years, and it took a few different catalysts to kind of get the ball in motion and rolling. But it's been fantastic, and it was just kind of a series of events that happened. And with the market and everything, they thought, well, why not? Let's get it up and running. And here we are today. And it's been great
today.
It's been great.
I know. When we've been working on this with you for a couple of months now, because it's actually a pretty complicated process, from trust accounts and paperwork and client agreements and portals and owners portals, and I mean, there's an awful lot too, which is definitely why it took a long time. But I know that when we look at the sheer number of transactions that we do as a brokerage, and how many clients that you guys work with, and how many investment properties your clients do own. Obviously, and I know that this is something that you've been working so hard on, is trying to have the same type of culture that CIR has always tried to create, from a real estate transaction process for clients to being able to offer the same type of culture and service from a property management standpoint, which is not super common.
No, it's
in the
not.
Industry.
I mean, the feedback overall has been that property management here in Calgary is not the greatest. You're going to find the few diamonds, but overall, the people that I've talked to has just been underwhelming, to be quite frank. So my goal and the goal of the division is to kind of fill that gap and to be able to give the realtors a place to send their clients, and whether they're investments or they're relocating or buying a new property, it's a place to send them that's within the family of CIR, and not have to, try and find a place that, might not work out, right? And the relationship with the client is then put in jeopardy because you don't really have a good relationship with a property management company, and you don't know how your client's going to get treated. So overall, it just made sense, really. It just made sense to kind of fill in those gaps for the brokerage and for you guys.
So feedback from realtors, because obviously this is a big growing process.
Yeah.
So far as, when it comes to vendors and fees and processes, feedback has been...
Oh, it's been fantastic.
Awesome.
It's been fantastic. Yeah, everyone is super excited. And like I said, everyone is super excited that they can bring their clients to CIR, right? That's their biggest win. So I'm really excited to bring that to them. It's been a long time in the making.
Oh, so
it feels like forever for me.
So we do have a property management page on our virtual office, because you can watch these meetings, but there's really we want you to be able to go somewhere to get some more information. What can people find on that page, and where is it?
So on the virtual office, right when you log in, at the top there is big and bold property management. So if you click on that, we have a general oversight of what the property management division is, what we can do.
Awesome.
And as well on there, we have a how to do a rental assessment, which I think is going to come in handy for a lot of people.
Awesome.
If they're talking to people that, they're not sure if they can maybe sell the property and they need a backup plan. So we have a how-to on how to do that. And if they don't want to do it, or you're not comfortable with it, you can also order it. And it will be myself that will be doing the rental assessment. And it comes on a nice, pretty paper, and you'll get it in a few days. And it gives you a really good overview of the current market. And we'll give you a rental assessment and how that can maybe affect the property for sale.
It is beautiful and a really good tool in somebody's toolbox.
Yeah. So we've given you both options so you can learn how to do it yourself, or if you don't have the time, we're happy to do it for you, and we can print it on our new fabulous printer that's here in the office.
Yes, very true. Cool. So services that property management offers Someone refers a client. Right now, what type of properties are we taking? Where in the vicinity of where CIR operates are we taking on properties?
So right now we're taking on residential properties. At the time, we're not taking on commercial properties.
Okay.
So residential homes, condos, townhouses, things like that. Right now we offer 2 services. So we have our full management service. So the client comes to us, we do a market analysis, we rent the property, we show the property, we do everything. We do a credit background check, verify their employment, everything like that. And then once we've rented the property and we move the tenant in, do all the paperwork, the lease documents, we manage it for them. So if there's any problems that happen with the tenancy or, their toilet is overflowing or something like that, they call us. And that's the beautiful part of full-time management, is if something happens at 2 o'clock in the morning, we get the call, not the client. So that is the full service management. Now, if someone doesn't have the time to maybe rent the property, they don't want to have to leave work at 2 o'clock to do a showing, they don't know how to read a credit report, things like that, we can do the leasing aspect for them. So we will market the property, we will lease it out for them, we will do all the showings, we will do credit background check, we'll do everything that we would normally do in a full management. But once we've agreed on a tenant and we move the tenant in, then we hand everything back to the owner for self-management.
Okay, so there's a few different options depending on how involved you want to be.
Exactly. And a lot of people, they go, oh, my house is perfect. Nothing is ever going to happen. I don't feel comfortable renting it myself. I don't feel comfortable meeting strangers. I don't feel comfortable having to leave my office 2 or 3 times a day to do showings. I have no idea what kind of background or credit check I'm looking for. I don't even know what to use. So they just want someone to kind of do the background for them, and then they are happy to manage it themselves. And so we also offer that as well.
That's really great.
Yeah.
So as far as a realtor's residential real estate business goes, because most of our realtors, that's their shtick. We have a couple of realtors that might be interested in doing a little bit of property management. We're not going to talk about that here. I do know that the requirements are very, very strict.
Yes.
And once you actually explain to somebody what they legitimately need to do to fit into those requirements and be a good property management. I remember when we were interviewing Kristin, and Kristin was telling me what it actually means to be properly within the rules, your actual responsibilities to your client. I was like, do you really want this? So there's a lot to that. So for everybody who's just typically doing just normal residential real estate, not in the property management world, what relationship should an agent expect to have with our property management division? How can they use it to their advantage?
Well, so, yes, we're not going to really touch on it a lot today, but if someone is interested in doing property management, feel free to call me. I can enlighten them. You do need to follow a lot of rules and regulations. First and foremost is you need to have your license with RECA. So that is number one. And that's the stopgap there. But in terms of impacting your relationship with your clients, it's unbeatable, because if you go into a seller presentation, you can go in with a rental assessment and you can say, I want to buy your house. I want to help someone sell your house. But if I can't, then this is the backup. And we have a division for it, and I am happy to refer you. And then that way it keeps the relationship with the client within the brokerage. And it kind of creates that emptiness. It fills that emptiness that you would go, well, I don't know.
Versus just handing it off to a third-party company where if they're changing their mind or they want to sell whatever it is, you're no longer kept in the loop on that.
Yeah, you have no idea. So if you pass off your client to a property management company, say the property's been on the market for 6 months or a year, and they go, okay, this isn't working, I need to rent the property, right? And you pass it off to another property management company, you can easily lose touch with your client, right? And there's also relationships and agreements within the property management companies, some of them that say, well, if we're a full brokerage, similar to CIR, then if your client wants to sell, then we have the right to sell the property. So you're losing out on your client as well.
Oh.
So you're basically giving someone else your potential commission, and whether that's, 2 years or 5 years or 10 years down the road.
That matters.
It matters.
And adds up.
It matters a lot. So if you can give your client over to the brokerage that you're with, we also preserve your relationship. So even realtors from outside CIR can bring on their clients, and we'll preserve that relationship with them as well. But if you can create that gap for them, it's a fantastic tool, and they'll stay with, my best, my nest, and it just creates an overall good feeling for your clients to go, I'm well taken care of here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
If a realtor has questions regarding our property management division, or if they have a client that they might want to use our services, what is the best way for somebody to reach out to you right now?
If they just have a simple question, phone call, email is probably the best. Honestly, if you're in the area, feel free to stop by the South office. I'm usually here wandering around talking to people. But yeah, if you have any clients or you yourself have any questions, just pick up the phone or send me a quick email.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We're so happy to have you, and we're really excited to have this property management division. And like you mentioned in the beginning, this has been very, very well thought out. And I know that everyone working on this, from management to accounting to the marketing team, it has been everyone's goal to make sure that it is done as high class and high service and hands-on and professional and competitive from a fee standpoint that we could possibly do to make sure that we're offering that same CIR touch as we would in the residential experience to the property management division. So give it a shot. We would love the chance to service your clients in their properties. And to learn a little bit more, because this was quick, again, please do come out to that rain event next Thursday if you haven't registered. This will sell out. So if you're thinking about it, make sure that you're going onto your virtual office and logging in and registering. And just investments in general. Hopefully you guys are thinking of some investment properties, because this is a good time to buy, and we can help you manage those too. So thanks for tuning in today. We appreciate it. Have a good week. Attend some of these professional development classes if you have some time this week. And that's that. And we'll see you next week, everyone. Bye, guys.